If you don't yet have a Snap Projections account, you can sign up for a free trial right on our website. I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm taken to my clients list where I can see basic information about my clients that I've already added. For example, have they been shared with me, or have I shared them with someone else in my team? When did I last edit them? When were they created? And these little icons indicate whether I've accessed the scenario setup, so the data entry pages, the planning pages, or the client report. If they're green, I haven't yet accessed those pages for this client. Up at the top right, I can select to show all clients or hide them. Today, we're going to go ahead and add a brand new client, and his name is Justin Jones. The information for Justin has been filled out in our financial planning questionnaire. Your client can fill it out on their own, or you can sit with your client and fill it out, and it's information listed in the order that you're going to want to enter it into Snap Projections. So we'll be using this questionnaire to fill out the rest of the information for Justin today. Where can you access that on our website? If you come up to the Help button at the top, you can choose the Help Center. And here's our knowledge base with information about how to access help, contact us through email, search for information, or just jump right to a category that interests you. The financial planning questionnaire is available right here, and you can download in Word. So back to Justin's projections. Justin is nearly 50 years old, and he's born in 1974. He lives in Ontario. And as I enter the information, we'll notice as I click away from this cell that the edited button at the bottom will change to saved, as everything is saved automatically as we move forward. I can use the next button to go to the next page, or I can use the left-hand side menu, which is our scenario setup menu. This is where we're entering all the initial data. I can start the projections in 2024 or next year. Retirement age 65, showing the projections until age 100. Anywhere that I have a question mark, I can hover over to find out more information about that cell. I can use the guidelines from FP Canada. Every year these are released, and we will update the guidelines button here so that you can import that information. So for example, I can click Use Guidelines. That makes sure the inflation rates are set up correctly. And all of these rates of return do not include fees. So I can also adjust them to whatever I would like my defaults to be, and making sure that I subtract any fees from the FP Canada guidelines. So in my case, I'll use 1 and 2.5 and 5.5. Once I've decided on my own defaults, I can choose the button at the bottom to say, save this page for new scenarios. So now going forward, Snap will use your information, these defaults, for new plans. If you're on a previous plan, you can always reset your current page to save settings, or you can go back to the original settings as well. So continuing on the expenses page, we can enter that Justin wants to spend $48,000 a year in retirement after taxes. If I also wanted to add some additional expenses, I can do that using this Add Expense. Here we could enter things like travel or car purchases, what ages those are applicable, and how frequently that it happens. For now, we'll just keep the base expense as everything that he's going to be spending in retirement. Justin has employment income of $100,000 a year. We're going to index that with inflation. So what I can do is just delete the 0% in that cell, and it will default now to inflation. It's employment income that's taxable and RSP eligible, starting from the first year of the projections until the year he turns 64. So until the end of the year he turns 64, because we said his retirement age was 65. You can adjust the exact date of retirement if you wish. We could add additional income such as inheritance or part-time income using this button here. For pensions, we can add defined benefit information with a bridge benefit, meaning the amount is going to be higher before age 65 and then a lower amount after age 65. The next page is the assets page. So we provide you with a default non-registered asset because we always like to have at least one account where money can be saved if there's surplus cash in the projections. I'm just going to delete this one because we're going to add our own. So starting with an RSP, we're going to add that he has $185,000 RSP. I can select using my mouse that it is RSP, or I could just start typing. It's R for RSP. What's the asset allocation? So this is going to be a 40% fixed income and 60% equity. So Snap will figure out for me the total rate of return based on those percentages. I can also edit any of these fields here. It's just using my defaults back from the general page. The next asset is going to be a TFSA, and the value is $100,000. And I type T for TFSA and it fills it in for me. Again, 40%, 60%. And you can see that every time I finish filling out these fields, it's automatically saved for me. Non-registered account of non-registered account of $18,000. And again, I can just type N for non-registered. And this one is 100% cash. And the last thing that we want to do is indicate contribution room for our assets. So for TFSA, if I select that at the top, we default to $7,000 of room for 2024. But if they had past room available, you can adjust that here. Next, we have the RSP contribution room. Snap is basing this value on 18% of his employment income. But again, if he has extra room, we can indicate that here. The RSP is being converted to a RIF at the age of 71. So the RIF income will start at 72. Again, this is editable, so you can change that for your own projections. There are other headers here that you could add additional information. We'll deal with those in later sessions. Let's go ahead and add the real asset. Justin's house is $600,000. We're also not going to select any future purchase age because he owns the house already, or a future sale age. So we can just go on to the next page and add his mortgage. He has $90,000 left on his balance of his mortgage at 5%. Again, he already has this mortgage, so there's no future start age. We're choosing to pay the interest and principal. Monthly payment of $900 a month, not tax deductible and linked to his house. Next, we have government benefits. Government benefits will default for CPP to the national average, which we indicate right here. Justin believes that by the time he's 65, he would have contributed enough to receive 90% of the maximum. So what we're going to do is enter 90 and then just click away, and you can see that that value that he'll receive at 65 is increased. If your client already knows their annual retirement pension, you can enter in the dollar value here. You could also adjust the start age, and we'll do that in a later video as well. Old age security will default to 100% of the maximum. Please join me in the next video where we'll continue the tutorial on what we can do on the planning page.